Hello all. Welcome to the brand new month, and as with every month, we are going to start with your CSS Basics, CSS Beginners to Advanced, followed by JavaScript Beginners to Advanced, and React.js Beginners to Advanced. And this month, I have some other surprises for you because I know one thing: people love CSS. People love CSS, and people love those beginners things because a lot of people who are coming to this channel are very beginners. So all of you want to do all of this beginners thing because most of people here want to become a web developer first, web app developer first, and for that HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all these things are required. So what I'm planning to do these things more. Okay, these things more planning to do means CSS, JavaScript, React.js projects, so that you can become a web app developer following my channel. So no more advanced stuff that much, because what I have seen, people don't like that much advanced stuff. Is fourth week I generally take some advanced stuff like React Native or something. I will take React stuff, but maybe I will do some project so that you have some projects also in your portfolio. Maybe we will do some front-end mentor projects. Also, we'll do some JavaScript projects, more JavaScript projects, and everything on my channel is certification. So you will definitely get certification, somehow or the others. But I have some other plans for certification. So for that, you're okay. Okay. So it is telling that I have some. Yeah. Good evening, all. Good evening, all. I don't know why this it is so slow. Attendance will be taken at the end. So a lot of people generally wait for this thing, for this CSS thing. Okay, so it is good that a lot of people have come. Okay, and we're going to start. We're going to start now. I think. Okay. Okay. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay, those who don't know that HTML you need to do from my Saturday workshop. HTML 1 hour do very good on the Saturday workshop. So you need to do that HTML from that workshop, and CSS you can start from here. Am I having some internet issue? I don't know. Okay, so I think hope everything is okay. So that is good, and okay. Okay, so let's get started with CSS. So CSS is what? CSS is cascading style sheets, and we are going to add styles and everything to the HTML, which we have done on the Saturday. We were not able to do much of CSS because a lot of people have asked a lot of very good questions. So I was answering those this Saturday. So today we are going to start with CSS, and CSS we are going to do everything. Means the real CSS we are going to do. No tailwind stuff here. A lot of influencers will tell you tailwind is good and all this thing is good, bootstrap is bad. That everybody tells, but a lot of influencers will tell you tailwind is good. No, tailwind is not at all good. You have to learn the basics of CSS. You have to learn CSS Flexbox. You have to learn CSS Grid. Although tailwind is a good than bootstrap, what is, because if you learn bootstrap, bootstrap is not even CSS. Bootstrap is just, you have to learn those small things. And as those influencers also tells that, okay, bootstrap is, I can figure a bootstrap site very easily, but you cannot figure a site is made with tailwind CSS very easy. See what happens when you use these frameworks and all these things like bootstrap and tailwind and all these things. Every site starts seems to looking same only. So that is not a good thing. That is not at all a good thing. If a site starts looking same to the other site, then where is your means uniqueness there? So it is the uniqueness doesn't happen there. So that's the problem. That's the problem. Okay, so that's why I always say people to do front-end minded challenges with either Flexbox or CSS Grid, and that's why you practice CSS. CSS never comes without practice. Okay, so I'm good. I'm good. So let's start with CSS. We are going to start from exactly beginning. Means CSS for 2 days. We are going to do CSS, all the basics and everything. Even we are going to touch a bit upon floats also, and then we are going to do your Flexbox. Mostly one day Flexbox is very small, and then we're going to do CSS Grid for 2 days. So that is the whole plan: 2 days CSS, all the fundamentals, then one day Flexbox, and then 2 day CSS Grid. And then I will not be able to do much projects. We are going to do projects also. That's the main thing. This month we are going to do a lot of front-end mentor projects also. Okay, so that will be there. So let's get started with this. And as always, we are going to use the your VS Code. Okay, that you all know what we are going to use. But here I have a folder again, and slowly you should start getting comfortable with the command line. Right now you're not comfortable with the command line, it's okay, but slowly you have to. Okay, so I have this. I'm inside a folder. It doesn't matter where you are, and then I will write here CSS Basics. CSS Basics. I will write. Okay, then hope you're all able to see me correctly and all. Wait a sec. Yeah, I think everything is correct. Then I will open the VS Code. Where is the VS Code? There is a VS Code. Open this VS Code. So VS Code is open. And I have this CSS folder. Again, I will going to start with the index.html. So some of this thing I might have repeated on the Saturday, but I think this Saturday I didn't repeat it much. So we're going to start exactly from the basics only. So index.html, anyway, CSS required a HTML file. So I'll do that and do this index.html and my CSS. I'll open it here in the side. Maybe I'll do this much. All right. So this is there, and I'll write CSS Basics. And one thing, there are actually 3 ways to write CSS. I think this I never tell on the week Saturday thing. There are actually 3, but this is a full CSS thing. Everything I'll teach. So there are 3 ways to write CSS. Okay, one is inline CSS, one is internal CSS, one is external CSS. So first, let us look into the what is the inline CSS. Okay, inline CSS we are going to look. So inline CSS means something like I will come here. I'll do H1 and hello world. I'm going to do. Okay, save it, and then I'll go live. I'm using live server. Most of you might know that's a live server is an extension. So or else I have to refresh every time. So live server, I'm using this extension. This extension, where is the extension? There is the extension, live server, and you don't have to refresh every time. Okay, so this hello world is there. Okay, so first thing we are going to learn is the inline CSS. So how to do the inline CSS? So I will come here and do the style equal to like this, and style is there, and then we have to write color. And CSS is also all over the properties and their values. So color is a property of the CSS by which you can give the text color. So color I've given, and then I will write blue, and then this colon also I can write because I can have multiple things also here. So color is blue. I'll do see the color is blue. So this is known as inline CSS, a very handy tool. And this inline CSS, what it does, it is used a lot by developers. See, sometimes developers wanted to do something very quickly, then they use this inline CSS a lot. Because see, I'm not like your normal trainer. Those who know me, I am from a IT background. I've spent my 16 years in the IT. Okay, then after I became the trainer, full-time trainer. So this is something which a developer loves. Sometimes they have to suddenly give something like the main CSS file is there, but they have to give something. They give this thing. And the precedence, there is something known as precedence. Precedence is more than the external CSS. Suppose I write a color blue here, and if I going to write external CSS, which you are soon going to see, there also I will write a color red. This will be picked up. So sometimes developers in bigger projects, what happens, they want to overwrite a lot of things. Although the team leads and the architect, which I was earlier, we hate this thing when the junior people uses this inline CSS, but sometimes they love it because they can overwrite a big CSS. So this inline CSS is used now also a lot, although you should not use it. But nobody do those things. Okay, so if you say them no, they will do more. Okay, so that is there. And then the next CSS which you're going to learn is the internal CSS. Okay, so the P I'll do, and again I'll do a lorem maybe 60. I want to take lorem 60. Now internal CSS which you are going to learn. Internal CSS, there is internal CSS and then is external CSS also. Internal and external are almost similar, but only difference is that internal we will give inside this HTML file also. And I have not seen in production much people using internal CSS. They use inline CSS like this, but internal is not there. But the format is exactly similar to external CSS. Here what happens, inside the header tag I'll have a style like this, and now I will use this P I'll use, and then I'll use the maybe the color is brown. Color is brown I'm going to use. Okay, and I'm going to save it, and the color will become brown. Okay, so this is how. And what I'm doing here, I'm targeting something. I'm targeting the P tag. I'm targeting the P tag here, paragraph tag here. I'm targeting, and then I'm giving the color as brown. Here I was directly writing it inside this. This is known as inline CSS and this is known as internal CSS. But the most common form of CSS is the external CSS, which everybody uses everywhere. Every company you go, everywhere you go, every project you go, external CSS is the most common CSS. Okay, so for that, let me make one after this H3 I'll do, and I'll write a best place to learn CSS. Best place to learn CSS is there, and then I will come here and I'll create a new file. I'll create a new file, and that new file will be style.css, the most common CSS name. See, index.html is the most common HTML name, and style.css is the most common CSS name, although it is not mandatory to use both of them. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, so instead of writing this P and the P tag, everything here, I will write the h3 tag in this. And this is the most common way to give. Okay, h3 tag I'll write here, and I'll write, okay, I'll start with the background color. So there is, oh, I have used a lot of color. So background color is also there, which will give the background color. So background color, I will antique white. I'm right. What is this color? Oh, whatever color is there. So if I'm giving this color this, then color should be black. I don't like black. Dark magenta. I like dark magenta. But dark magenta I'll take. So this is okay. I'll take these two things. Okay, S3. But S3 is still black, like HTML black. Why it is like that? Because if you give external CSS, we have to link the index.html with the style.css. We have to link the HTML with the CSS. So how do we link it? We link it with the link tag. Link, I think this I have shown. So link and CSS, this link style sheet. And by default, the href will give me style.css only. So it is right, or else you have to change the name. So style.css, see. Now it is been shown like this background color, and this is also been dark magenta. So this is how the three ways to add CSS. And as I have told, the most common way is to use this thing. Okay, so now what we are going to do, I'm going to just comment out these things. If you want, you get it. Means anyways, I'm going to give the GitHub link, and or maybe I will give the zip file link from the GitHub, because most of the people here you won't know GitHub, and then it's not no time to give a GitHub 101 right now. Okay, so this is the style is there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this out. Okay, comment this out, because we are going to now, from now onwards, we're going to use the external CSS. I'm going to comment this out. It's commenting works like this, and here I'm going to do h1 and hello world. I'm going to do, and I'm going to comment this out also. Okay, comment this out also. Save it, and it is been shown again like this. Okay, so this is there. Now the next thing which we are going to do is like the colors in CSS. Although I have told this, I think on the Wednesday, on the Saturday, not Wednesday, on the Saturday. But anyways, we are going to learn everything. Some people might be coming for this for the first time. So that's why it is important for them to know what is the colors in CSS before moving forward. So what is the colors in CSS? CSS is all about color, and HTML is all black and white. CSS is color. So there are actually 4 ways to give colors. So one is the color names, which we have already seen. This color name is antique white, dark magenta. All of these are color name. And there are another 3 ways. One is hexadecimal, one is RGB, and one is HSL. So first, let us see what is this color names, and why is this kind of weird kind of color names are the dark magenta, antique white. Nobody knows what these colors are. So let us see why these weird colors are there and what are they actually. So Actually, what happened actually, there was a major change in CSS also in 2015. I don't know, 2015 is some kind of a very big year, because in 2015 HTML5 has gone through changes. HTML version 5 came. CSS has gone through changes, not through changes, upgradations, because nobody changes something. Upgradation was happening and things were added to it. CSS 3 was introduced in 2015, and also ES6 in JavaScript was introduced at that time. Okay, so that was there like that. Okay, so before that there was only 20-30 colors in CSS. Okay, like red, green, blue, purple, all those colors which you know. Now from 2015 there are some very good color names have come, and I know a lot of them, not because I have to mug them up, nobody have to mug them up, but I love those color names. Like I love the color name Indian Red. I love the color name Crimson. Firebreak is there. I know Hot Pink is there. I know Carol is there. Tomato is the color name. Yeah, so weird. Then dark khaki is there. Lavender is there, and magenta, dark magenta is one of my favorite color. Then chart reuse is there. All these colors are there. Olive is there. Teal is there. So you tend to remember them because I use them a lot, and sometimes I like to use the color name. So these are the 140 color name. You don't have to remember them anyways. So this is one way. But the thing is that 140 color names are very less, because in CSS there are billions of colors. How there are billions of colors? Let us see this thing, and we are going to see this time from a color picker. Maybe Google will show us a nice color picker. Okay, this is not showing this. Nowadays it's very difficult to pick a color picker also. This is not color picker. Okay. I want all the color code names. Okay, I'll pick the most common one. No problem. Okay, so let us pick from here only. So there are three forms of colors, and color names are one of them, but there are actually three forms. One is known as hexadecimal color code. Okay, hexadecimal is something like this. This which you are seeing. Hi everyone. Hi. Okay, so this is the hexadecimal. Okay, hexadecimal is there, and what is this hexadecimal? It starts with hash, and then there are 6 digits are there. So why 6 digits are there, and why is this? What is this hexadecimal system? Hexadecimal system. First, let us understand what is hexadecimal. Hexadecimal is a way to calculate the numbers. Actually, we all know the decimal number system, which you all use from 0 to 9 is there. Okay, then there is binary system, which is 0 and 1, and we all have learned this thing in 7th or 8th class, that okay, there are three ways for numbering. One is decimal, 0 to 9, base 10, because 10 numbers are there. 0 and 1 binary, computer understand that 0 and 1 binary, base 2. And there is another thing which most of us have forgot, which is like the hexadecimal system, hexadecimal color code. Hexadecimal is not color code, hexadecimal system, which is a base 16, because it is a 0 to 9 digits are also there, plus the A to F alphabets are also there. A to F alphabets are also there in hexadecimal. And I think hexadecimal is used in another place, which I can remember, the MAC address. There is something known as the MAC address of a RAM. Everything in a computer stored in a MAC address, so that is also in hexadecimal, I think. So hexadecimal system is much more superior in number, normal number system, because it is a base of 16, 0 to 9 and A to F, so it can store more numbers. And that was the reason as CSS team picked up this over our normal numbering system, so that they can store more number in those computers, and at the end of the day everything is going to store in the computer. So they picked up this hexadecimal. So hexadecimal is like what? FF00, it has got 6 digits. It start with a hash, and it has got six digit. Okay, why 6 digit? It was 6 digit because first two means red, next two means green, and next two means blue. Why? Because human eye can see only a combination of red, green, and blue. We can see only a spectrum, red, green, and blue. Every color which we can see, it is mixed using those two colors. See, if I do FF is the highest value in this hexadecimal system. It is red. means red is highest, then the green and blue are 0. It is like this. Okay, but I can choose anything. Let me choose like a lighter color like this color I will choose, and this is like this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, I will come and this body is there. I will change the background of it. Okay, so I'll come here and do the body and background color, not like this. Background color, I want this one. Background color, this. Save it. If I go back here, the background color is nice pink. Okay, so that is done. So now the next system is known as RGB. As the name suggests, what is RGB? RGB stands for red, green, and blue. And as I have told, the human eyes can see red, green, and blue. So first is red, second is green, third is blue, and it contains value from 0 to 250. So if you go come to a good color picker, you'll see all these values. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this to the P tag. So P, I'm going to give this, and P, I will go and P, and color is like something in RGB, but I will give a dark color like this. I'll go and maybe this one. Yeah, this one I'll choose. And I don't choose this one, I will choose this one. RGB color is like this, and save it. The color is like a brown color, RGB. The last system is the HSL system. HSL is a bit of more superior system, and actually designer loves this HSL system because they can control the colors more with this HSL system. HSL first thing is hue, which is known as the first thing is the color. Actually, it's a combination of all the red, green, and blue. I'm giving in one thing, H, that is known as hue also. And saturation and lightness. Saturation means how much black is there in this thing, so it is in percentage, and lightness means that why how much white is there, so it is like this. So HSL is also there, and you will have to definitely, you don't have to memorize all of these things. You cannot memorize, there billions of numbers are there. So this all these things, you have to find it from some color picker. So I will give this to the H1. I'll give, and I will give the color as so as again, let me give some blue color, and maybe this one, not this thing. I will give this HSL. See, all the codes are been displayed. Okay, I'll save it, and it will showing me like this color. Okay, that is done. So this is all about the color system. So this is done. Now we are going to look on upon the fonts in CSS. Okay, so fonts in CSS, as we all know, I think I've tell this also. So fonts in CSS, there are inbuilt fonts in CSS which is comes with the browser. So we can give that with the font family. Font family is like Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif is there, and I'll do it. See, a bit of changes was done because the first font, which is the Arial font, was chosen here, and the Arial font is like a different one that is mentioned. So the primary font of Arial is been chosen, and when you give this font family to the body, it will be chosen. It will be given in the complete thing. Okay, so that is done, and okay. So now what? Why I have given this Helvetica and sans serif? I have given this Helvetica and sans serif. So I have given both of them because they are known as fallback font. And not only two, you can have hundreds of fallback fonts also. Why we give this fallback font? We give this fallback font because this, again, these fonts and all, they are governed by the W3C. Okay, but these browsers are not governed by them. Browsers are created by big software companies, big names like this. This is created by Google. Chrome is created by Google. Firefox is created by Mozilla. Safari is created by Apple, and Edge is created by Microsoft. Internet Explorer is retired because it was a very bad browser. So that is there. And so what happens here? So suppose there is a case of maybe suppose Internet Explorer was there. It was a bad browser for a reason, for this reason only. Internet Explorer was there, and in Internet Explorer, so Arial font is not there. Arial font is not there. So what will happen in the Internet Explorer if someone I give this Arial font and somebody comes and open this site and Arial font is not there, then it will fall back to the Helvetica. Helvetica is not there, it will fall back to the sans serif. Sans serif is not there, it will fall back to the whatever is there in the Internet Explorer. Okay, so it will be like that font family. Okay, that's what they are known as fallback font also. So this is there. So now we are done with this. Let's do one more thing before moving forward, which is like to use our favorite Google fonts. Okay, so you'll use some Google fonts because these fonts are very much boring. And nowadays, in today's world, nobody uses this one because these fonts were there from the starting of time. From 1995, it was there. So the whole of internet is full of this kind of font. So people love to use Google fonts, which is like this Google fonts, or you can also purchase fonts. Okay, fonts are what? They are some artists which make these fonts. Okay, Google fonts. The attendance form will be given at the end. So those who are here for the first time and those who don't know, this attendance form is taken daily for 5 days. So this works like this. Attendance form is given at the end, daily 5 days it is given. And you have to fill all of these things. This is a 5-hour course, not a 1-hour course, 5-hour course. So I'll do this, and I've come to this Google font and all these things. It started today only. So DUE sport, it started today only. Today is day 1 only. So you started at the right time. Okay, so today Google font is showing me some very nice fonts. So I came here and I'm loving this font, means whatever is there. These 2 fonts I'm loving it. So I will take this one and I'll select this style and I'll come here and then I'm going to this import and I have to choose this thing. Yeah, that's good. So this is the complete series. If you have done the basic web development workshop, then after this thing only comes. So I do it in a whole series: basic web development workshop, then CSS, then JavaScript, then React.js, then you work on projects and you become a highly paid web developer. It is like that in my channel. Okay, so this is there and this. So this is how we will import this Google font here and font view we cannot. I'll save it. Okay, and then I can use this Google font now. How? I'm going to use it in the paragraph tag, not in the complete body. I'm going to use it in the paragraph tag. So I will come here and the font family I will do. And then I will use this thing. And this thing is known as a very big name, Rubik Wet Paint, comma, Arial, Helvetica and sans serif I'll do. And font family is done. And see, now this weird kind of font is been shown. This is quite good. Okay, so this has been shown, and the thing is that here the fallback fonts are very much important. First thing is that it is taken from Google, and I'm seeing this font for the first time actually. So it might be there some browser will be there which will not allow us to use. Although it is not possible, Google do a lot of checking and all that, and there are 99% of chance that it will be shown. If it is not shown, anyways, you will catch it in production, because in production, what happens? The testers test your code on every browser. It is not like that. They will test your code on iPad also. If you are working in the medium range projects also, and there are some testers are there, you yourself will test it before deploying. So Rubik white wet paint is there, and it is showing like this. Okay, it is showing like this, and it is looking quite nice. And so here the fallback fonts are very much important. For that reason, it might not be there. And the other reason is that, see, I'm taking it from the internet. Taking it from the internet. So if I'm taking it from the internet, if the internet suddenly goes down, although my website is there, some cache or something will be there, but the internet suddenly goes down, somebody is watching it on the mobile, and they might be going through somewhere, they might be going on a bike and going through some very big tunnels. In India, we have very good tunnels. Some tunnel they are going, and the back rider is seeing it on the bike, and suddenly the website goes away, and then it will fall back to the fallback font. Okay. It is 1 hour. Each of these classes are 1 hour long. This is not like a weekend class 3 hours. Okay, it's a 1 hour long 5 hour class. 5-hour classes, Monday to Friday. Okay. So this Rubik white paint I've done, and it has been shown like this. Okay, so we'll now go ahead and add something more, like maybe the font size I'm going to increase, and font size I'm going to increase. It is, I will make it as 20 pixel. I'll come back to this, but because the next thing which we're going to learn is the unit of measurement. But let us first do the measurement. Okay, 20 pixel I'll do. So see, it has become a bit bigger. 20 pixel right there. Then the next thing which I'm going to do is the line height. Line height. Line height is like 1.6 em I'm going to do, and em. See, the line height have increased a bit. Okay, line height is increased a bit. So line height means the height between two lines. This is known as line height. So that is done. So now what? So now we will learn about the units of measurement. We have already seen two units of measurement. One is em, one is this pixel. Actually, there is one more unit of measurement that is known as REM, RAM. Okay, that is known as REM. So what is that? What is all of those things we are going to learn now? So for learning that, especially the RAM and M, we are going to do one thing here. That thing is that like this. I'm going to come here and I'm going to do a div, and I'm going to wrap everything in this div. Everything will be wrapped in this div. Okay, and then I'm going to come here, and this div I'm going to do, and div I will do the font size of 10 pixel. I'll do the font size of 10 pixel, and the moment I do font size 10 pixels, something weird also happened. This also becomes small, and this is a kind of a error which why it is happening. I'm going to tell you because this div I'm doing at 10 pixel. This div is a parent of all these things, h1, h3, and p. Whenever something is wrapping anything, it's become the parent. Body is the parent of div. Div is the parent of h1, h2, h3, and p. So I've given this as a 10 pixel, and but for the h1, h3, I have not given any pixel here. So that's why it is also becoming small, which is not right. Okay, so what is first thing which you're going to learn is the is a pixel. Okay, pixel I have not even told. Pixel is what? Pixel is like you all might have heard this word pixel a lot. Means the more pixel a TV have, better clarity have. More pixel a TV have, it becomes HD. It becomes 4K TV. It becomes 8K TV. Like those things are there. What is this pixel? Pixel are actually this dot. In the earlier version of TV, if you go quite close, you can see those dots. But nowadays, all the HDs, you cannot see this dot. Pixels means the more dot you can fit in 1 square centimeter. Okay, it means that. Literally, it means that. But here in CSS, this pixel is a bit different. This pixel is something which has been given to us by the W3C committee, and they have got their own TV which is 3000 dpi, 3000 density per inches is there, and they have measured it according to that. But in the normal term, it is like that the more you increase the pixel, the size will increase, and it is the most simplest unit of measurement is which is out there. Then what is this em? So I have taken something known as em. What is this em? Em means for em only I have taken this div. So this div I have made it as how much? Div I have made it as 10 pixel. Okay, and this font size I'm going to do as 2em. 2em means what? See, em means whatever the parent is there in pixel. In pixel, it will be multiplied by this. So the div the font size is 10 pixel, which is the parent of p. So 2em means 20 pixel. 3em means 30 pixel. 4em is 40 pixel. So it is like this. Okay, let me go back to 2em. Then there is another unit of measurement which is known as RAM, REM, RAM. It is spelled like that only. So if I do is 2 RAM, it will increase a bit more. Why it is like that? So RAM never depends upon the parent. RAM depends upon a global parent, something like a body. A body have a font size of 16 pixel, which the WCDC have told the general font size will be 16 pixels. So RAM always being calculated like this. So 2 RAM means 16 into 2. 3 RAM means 16 into 3. So this is like this. So this is like the RAM and M and the pixel, the differences between them. Okay, so this is there, and let me make it a bit seeable, and let me use the RAM unit only. So I will use it as 1.6 maybe. 1 point, okay, 1.6 is 1.8. 1.8 is okay. 1.8 M I will take. 1.8 RAM I will take, not M. 1 point within 6 within 4. Okay, 1.2 is okay, and this is okay. So this is how it looks. So now we are done with this. Now what we're going to learn? We are going to learn about something known as classes and ID. As we have already seen that I am given this div some font size, and it was behaving like this. It was showing it all the font size is wrong. Okay, so that is there. So what? Because we should not, one thing is there, we should never give styles to div, h1, h3, p's, all these things like this. Why we should not give it like this? Because CSS by default is a global thing. CSS is totally global. So what happens if I have 10 other CSS files also like that, maybe the main.css or some other things. And what happens in bigger projects, 10 people works in the same project. Maybe they are working in a different file, maybe they are working the same file. So in style.css, someone make h1 as something color red. Someone in main.css make the h1 as color green. It will override it. And the whole project will behave like weird kind of thing. So that's why developer are always say not to use this like say h1, h3, d, p. Body you can use, but h1, h3, d, p. These things you should not touch. You should give everything a unique name, and we give everything a unique name by either classes or IDs. There is something known as classes and IDs in HTML which we are going to give, and through that we are going to style the CSS. Okay, so first thing is that I am going to comment this out because of this, these two are not looking good. These two have become smaller. Save it, and these two have again become the same. So okay, so there are two things. One is known as classes and one is known as IDs. So what are classes? Classes and IDs both are used to uniquely identify any element, not only div, h1, h3, p, anything you can give. So I'll give her in the div. So I'll give her in the class equal to box1. I'm going to give, and I'm going to save this thing, and then I'm going to come here and this box1 I'm going to do, and here I'm going to go, and let me do it here, dot box1, and here this box1 I have given, and I have to give it to a dot. Classes are always given it a dot. So class is there, keyword, class is a keyword. This can be anything. Okay, so this is like this. Okay, so box1 I have given, and then I'll give like background color is like light Carol maybe. So light Carol, it is showing like this. Okay, it is showing like nicely like this. It is showing. Okay, and then what is there with this your classes name? I can use the classes name a lot of time. That is something like this. Let me have another div here. And like this I'll do, and I will make this a bit smaller. I'll remove the h1 and save it. So I can have this also like the best place to learn CSS, and it is coming very close. Okay, actually I'm going to remove this background color. Just wait. Okay, so background color I have removed, and there is some space. Okay, I can give one more thing. Okay, so it will look a bit better. We're going to learn about this thing later on. That is known as padding. Padding is something which is always around something. So if I give a 10 pixel, what will happen? It will take all the way around this box. Okay, around means inside only. We're going to learn later on. Okay, so it is around this thing. It has been taken all the way around the element. Okay, all the way around this element it is taken. But now they are closed very much. So I will do a BR, and it will be shown like this, and it will looking like nice. So classes we can use 100,000 lakhs of times. Same class name I can use. This box one I can use a lot more time. So there is something else also which is known as a ID. Okay, which is known as a ID. So IDs you cannot use more. IDs you cannot use more. So I'll come here in this P, and I will give the id equal to second p, anything I can take. Second p I have taken, and then I will come here and copy this. Actually, I want to style this second paragraph in a different way. So second paragraph I've given this id, save it, and I'll come here and second p, IDs you always give it a hash, classes you give it a dot, IDs you give it a hash. Second p I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it a bit. Actually, I'm going to copy this thing all because I'm going to change it. Okay. First thing is that I don't want this fancy name, only the normal one. And then I want to change it. And we can change it from here. Inbuilt color picker from here also we can do. So RGB have done. Okay. But you have to be very careful. You have to move it like it is not that much good. So you have to move it in a very, very slowly. Okay. So I'll come here and which thing should be this paragraph. How do you make it a bit of blue? Okay, like a dark blue like this. I'll do. And font size, I will make it 1 gram, and this is 1.2 and save it and see it is showing like this. So this is how you do the other thing. Okay, this is how you do the IDs. So that is there. So now we are going to look into a very important thing known as a box model. Box model is a very important interview question also. So this, what is this box model? In this box model, we are going to learn about this margin, padding, and all these things. Okay, and as I told you, it's a very important thing to learn. Okay, so for this box model, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here, and after this div, I'm going to do a div of lorem. I'll do, and then again. id equal to box model. I'm going to do box model I've done, and this is normally shown like this. Okay, so then I will go to this. I have given this because I have given this id. I'll go here, hash box model, and first thing is that I will going to change the background color, maybe aqua is okay. Then width, I can give the width also. Width, like how much? Width is like 300 pixel. Then I can give something known as a border. Border is there, which I'll make 15 pixel is how much the size is there. 15 pixel solid, and green I'll do. And now let me save it. So see, width of 300 pixel is there, a border of 15 pixel, which is quite thick, solid green we have created. Now we are going to look into two more things. One is a padding and one is a margin. So what is a padding? So if I give padding like 50 pixel, I'll give in padding. See closely, this thing is there. I'm giving the padding in this box model. Box model is what? Box model is having this lorem ipsum only. So I will give this padding 50 pixel. I'll give it. See this, there is a space outside this is forming. This is known as a padding. A space outside it is known as a padding. Now I'll give a margin as 20 pixel. Margin as 20 pixel I'm going to give. So this margin as 20 pixel I'm going to give. So what is this margin? Margin and padding are a bit different. Margin is around the element and padding is always internal. So margin I'm going to give. See what just happened. This 20 pixel, it is here. It is here. 20 pixel is here and it is here. And there is one more way to see this thing. This box model. I'll do a write and I'll do a inspect. Inspect, this is how the developer work. Inspect, and you can inspect, you can see how all of the HTML also here, every HTML is there. So see, I was selecting this thing. If it is not selected, you just click over it and see the box model is being shown. So box model is what? Okay, extension, why I will send in a mail in the certificate. Extensions are like this. I'm using this extension. Let me take through you. This live server I'm using. Okay, and some of them are not meant for you because they are meant for advanced thing, like they are meant for React and all. When I'm going to do React, I'm going to tell. and then there is a indent rainbow I am using. So indent rainbow is there, which shows this light this intention. So this thing is another thing which is required for your HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And one more thing is which is very cool, which I'm using, is this auto rename. Auto rename is like what happens here. Like if I give some h1 tag, see it is also shown like this. So it will create it. So these three things you can do it, auto rename and all these things. So nowadays VS Code comes inbuilt with all the extension. You don't have to use much of them. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so this is there, and anyways you can ping me. I will tell if you want. Okay, I think I have some video also on my YouTube. I have some video also regarding that. Okay, so the 50 pixel and 20 pixel. So what is this box? Again, the box model is actually, if some interviewer is going to ask you what is this box model, so you have to answer that thing. So box model actually contains about four things. One is this. See, if I go to this box model also, it is the first thing which is showing me is 300 into 120. So what is this? This is known as a content. So tell the interviewer the first thing is the content, which is what is content. Content is means whatever I typed it here, and this can be of any size. So this is the content. The second thing, they will ask the order also. Second thing is the padding. Content is wrapped through by padding. So padding is 50 pixel, which I have given this 50 pixel. So 50 pixel all the way around. After that, the border is there. Border is 15 pixel all the way around. This again you can change. And then after that, the margin is there. Okay, margin is there, which is like this, 20 pixel all the way around. 20 pixel all the way around. Okay, so like this. 20 pixel all the way around, but this at this side and this side there was nothing. So but it was from here also it is 20 pixel, from the nearest element also it is 20 pixel. So this is how this works. And one golden rule is there: padding is always internal, margin is always between that element and some other element. Between that is the margin. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so now we are going to look into this box model is done, but we are going to look into some short forms also. Short forms of, and those short forms can be applied to margin and padding both. Okay, that can be applied. So maybe we are going to look into margin. Okay, so this is the actually a full form, means 20 pixel I'm giving, it is all way around. But what we can do here is like we can use a complete full form also, like this. I will comment this out, and I will do a margin top of, maybe this time I'll change it, margin top of 5 pixel I'll do. Okay, margin top of 5 pixel I'll do, and margin right of 10 pixel I'll do, and margin bottom of 5 pixel I'll do, and margin left of 10 pixel I'll do. Okay, so this all thing I'm going to do. So what it do, I'm individually controlling it. So now what is happening, see if I come here, margin top is 5 pixel, bottom is 5 pixel, right is 10 pixel, and left is 10 pixel. So this is one more way to control it. And there are some two more ways to control it also, because you will see people use those form a lot also. So I'll again comment this out. And then the other way to write the same thing is like margin like 5 pixel, 10 pixel, 5 pixel, and 10 pixel. So 5 pixel means top, and it works like this: top, then right, bottom, left, top, right, bottom, left. It is like this, and this will be again like this, 5 5. Again the same thing is there. It is like 5 5 10 10. Okay, this is there. Now beside this, there is another short form which is very much popular. See what happened, generally the top and the bottom margin or padding, they are same, and the right and the left are same. So there is another shortcut here. Okay, and that shortcut is like, I'll go here and do the margin as 5 pixel and 10 pixel I'll do. So it means it is again a shortcut of the shortcut. 5 pixel means top and down is 5 pixel, and right and left are 10 pixel. Top and down is 5 pixel, right and left are 10 pixel. Okay, so this is done. And now let us do some more before Okay, get a day. Okay, so what we are going to look. Okay, color padding, font padding. Okay, so we'll come to the H3 and let us do some more thing like so H3 is there. This one, both of them are H3. So I will do a font weight. There is something known as font weight, which by default is normal, which you can increase also. Like it has got some numbers also. You can find it out like 200, 400, 600, 800, and bold and bolder are there. So 800 you can do. Maybe it will not show anything different because it is already there. Then there is a font. Okay, like okay, I can do one thing here. Okay, font weight like this. It will not show anything in the H3. H3 is already bold. So why I'm doing it here? Let me do in the second P. Okay, so font weight is like this. See this? Now it is the weight is more. Then there is something known as font style. Font style is like italics. By default, it is normal. The moment I do italics, it will be like slanting, like this slanting thing. So now let us do one more thing like this. There is something known as a text decoration. By default it is none, and we can make it anything like underline also we can make it. And sometimes some of the things have a text decoration means underline, like the anchor tag have, that we can remove also with this property text decoration none. But right now what I'm doing is text decoration underline. So this underline is been there. Then there is something known as text transform. Okay, text transform is there. Text transform is like uppercase. So everything will be like this, uppercase will be shown. So those are something. And okay, so one more thing I want to show in this H1, there is something known as letter spacing, which if I do 0.2 m in the H1 I'm doing. So see the letter are in space. So something similar to this, we have some word spacing also. Word spacing, which I'm going to do is 0.8 m. I'm going to do it is save it. See, now the words are also spaced. So this is how it is done. So now today the last thing which you're going to see is like styling the list. We are going to see styling a list. So let us create a list and then we are going to style it. Okay, and let me give the attendance sheet also, because this is the last topic of the day. Mark the yeah. I'll also print the message so that you all can see this message. Okay, so as I told, the last thing which you're going to do is the styling a list. So let us do that. So I will have a div dot categories, and this is a shortcut. Div dot categories, you do press a tab, a class will be done. Then h2 categories I'm going to do, and ul I'm going to do. And inside this ul, what I'm going to have, inside this ul I'm going to have li, and inside this li I'm going to have an anchor tag. Actually it will go to nowhere, but I'll write a category 1 3 4 5 2 3 4 5. Save it. So it will show like this. See, I have taken an anchor tag for a reason, and the anchor tag for a reason is that it will have, I can click, maybe I want to show some links in here, and I can click it there. Right now I'm taking it to nowhere, but you can have some links also here, and it gives me nice this underline thing. So I have this hand thing also. By default in anchor tag, this hand things comes by default, or else in a button or something you have to do the cursor pointer there. Okay, so that is there. Now let us style this thing. So I will come here and do this categories here. I'm go here and this dot categories I'll do, and then border 1px, border 1px, solid, and maybe gray, because we're beautifying this thing. Okay, 1px, generally we take 1px only. Okay, and then we'll have some padding here. Padding always makes things very much beautiful. Okay, so padding we have created, and now this a box has been done and the padding is been done. See, the box have got sharp edges which we can remove by what? We can remove it by border radius. Border radius as maybe 15 pixel. I'll do this. These things are now, the curved thing has gone, this nice things are come. This is known as a border radius. Okay, so that is done. Now this h2 is there. This h2 I want to target this h2, and there is one more way to target something. Okay, I think I have not told that thing. That is like dot categories, and I'm to the h2. So this is a very good way to target something. See, I'm not targeting the h2 directly. I am doing through categories h2. So there might be a lot of h2 in our whole project, so but I'm targeting only whichever inside the categories class. And so this is a very good way to give thing. Okay, two kind of thing. Okay, so this thing we should always do. Text align is like center. So this is another property like text align center. So this categories has moved to the center. Okay, so that is that. Now this everything has got some padding and all also. So this ul is there. So I'll do this dot categories, and ul I'm going to do, and padding of 0 I'll do, and see, it has moved here. It's moved to the side because now I have removed the padding, and this dot is also not showing correctly, means it is not showing good. So what we can do, we can remove this dot also, which is coming because it's an unordered list. So I can do a list style of none. Text style of none I'll do. This stars will also be gone away. Okay, so the next thing which I want to do is, I don't want this to be a blue color thing like this. Okay, and I don't want this underline to be there. So as I've told earlier, we can also target that dot categories, and a I am targeting, anchor tag I am targeting, and this text decoration I am doing as none. Text decoration I'm doing as a none. So see, no underline is there. And blue color is very bad. I want to control that also. So I'll do the color, not column. Color as black. I'll do save it, and it will be black. So let us do the final thing to make it even more better. So what I'm going to do is okay. First thing is that I want to change. See, if I take my mouse over here, it is showing it like this hand, but I don't know which one I'm picking up. So I should know which one I'm picking up. So what I'm going to do is like this dot categories and a and over I'm going to do, and then color is red. Color is red. I'm going to do. It will show this as red. So see, it will show exactly where it is there. Okay, exactly where it is done. Okay, so this has been done like this. Okay, so now the last thing which we are going to do is like this dot categories li I am choosing, and because they are very close to each other, so I want to give some padding bottom here. Padding bottom I'm going to give is 6px. I'm going to do so. A bit the padding bottom has been done, and then I'm going to do the border bottom is like 1px dotted hash 3d3. Okay, so this dotted are been shown, and now it is looking very good. Okay, and we're done with today's class. Anyways, I'm going to give this also this all these things, this code I'm going to give, and we're going to continue over this code only tomorrow we are going to complete the CSS by the basic of it. Tomorrow is a very important day, because tomorrow we are not going to we are going to style a form first, then follow that with there is something known as alignment and floating. So that is a layout technique. We're going to learn about CSS float. That is a layout technique, a old layout technique which we don't use on much nowadays, but it's very important. Then we are going to learn about something known as positioning in CSS, which is very much important, like position static, relative, absolute, fixed, that are used today also a lot, because without that you cannot work on those crazy things which the designer will give you, crazy good looking designs. Okay, you cannot work without it. So that we are going to look into that after that, and then we are going to look into some images and all, and then we are going to complete this CSS thing, and then we are going to move to the Flexbox on Wednesday, and then 2 days we are going to do CSS Grid. Okay, so this is the complete plan. Hope you all liked it, and have filled the attendance form, and now please attend it daily. As you know, those who are coming from a Saturday batch, this thing is something like that. You have to attend it daily and get the certificate. But beside getting the certificate, it's much more important to learn these things. After that, you should practice a lot also, and this time I'm going to create some practice projects also, and it is not like just creating those practice projects. I'm going to give certificates on that also, but that will be a different certification way. It is not like that you just see those things, practice videos also, and you do it, give it. No, you have to create it, then you are going to get the certificate of this practice, because I'm going to do some very cool projects also on this channel from the basics, because a lot of people want the basics things which nowadays nobody does that much. Okay, nobody does in an order in which we do in a complete order. We give a complete path to become a web app developer. So after the CSS, you have to do a lot of CSS work, or else it is a waste. It is a waste, totally waste. You cannot become a developer also. CSS is very important. Okay, CSS is so important, and CSS is so powerful that with just HTML and CSS you can get a job. Not a high paying job, but you can get a job. You can get a foot in the industry, which you tell. Okay, so thank you all, and we'll meet tomorrow. Bye.